Hey guys, it's July 11th, 2012. It's about 2 in the afternoon. I'm up in northern Arizona, up at just on the northern boundary of Fort Apache. Um, it's beautiful up here. It seems like the whole rest of the country is in a massive heat wave, and here it's just as gorgeous as it can be, about 80 degrees, and we're getting some rains, and it's nice to be out of the desert for a while. Anyway, this is a pretty interesting day with the date and everything, and 7-Eleven, anything with 11, it's always going to be a little intense. Well, I've been talking to a lot of people here the past few days. Ever since the beginning of July, we've had a lot of heavy, intense solar activity, which is raising the frequency of the planet. We've had C flares just consistently, M flares every few hours, and even X flares. We've had gamma ray bursts, which are designed to increase our spiritual frequencies and help pound out any of the lower negativities. And we've even had proton blast here in the past few days, and along with the X flares, and that's it's pretty interesting. One thing that I noticed that I'm hearing from so many people around is even these guys that had a lot of negativity, a lot of density, a lot of egoic problems. They're starting to show more love and compassion, and starting to really feel who they are, I guess you could say. With that, we've got a whole nother range of people having ascension symptoms because of the frequencies, and I'm having a lot of people asking me about different situations they're having that I've already been through myself, so I can talk about it. And it's just a process. All you're doing is getting rid of all the lower densities and the chemical residues and things from your food, from your diet, from absorption. And then as you start activating your light body, and your light body starts expanding, your chakras start opening and then activating and then anchoring, you expand your light body, you expand your the being of who you really are into this physical form. And with that, when you start doing that, you got a detox, and the detox is oftentimes from what our intake and our environment has been throughout this lifetime. And then as you expand your light body and you start activating your chakras and really becoming a spiritual person incarnate, then you become an antenna. You're receiving the higher energies and channeling out straight to Mother Earth and to all the people around you, and that's how we change the planet. But at the same time we do that, a lot of times in the reverse, we're picking up on those lower negative energies from other people, from Mother Earth and the history. It's just like where I am at Fort Apache, that there's a lot of old historical events that weren't very nice. And it was the same thing in Hopi Land and all over Arizona, all over the South where I grew up, all over, pretty much the whole United States. We had some pretty traumatic things go down here in the past 400 or 500 years since white man's been here. And a lot of deep emotional stuff that went into Mother Earth as part of her diet, and we're helping her to detox. And so a lot of times as we're activating, that's what's going down. Well, I've had many people in the past days talk about the strange feeling that they have in their chest with their breath, and with this just uneasiness, because they're starting to really feel their heart, and their heart chakra is beginning to activate. And it's nothing that you need to worry about. What you really need to do is to pay attention to it and try to acclimate to it, because it's just the beginning of a process. And when you first start having that happen with your heart, you're going to feel a real blissful sensation. But as you are moving your consciousness from your head and into that sacred space in your heart where you're feeling that sensation, that blissful sensation from, it can be almost scary, and your ego, your mind's going to say, oh, this is not good. What happens? I could get lost here. I could, get down there and not come back. I could, do something to mess up my heart. And that's not true. That's just your ego talking. And so you got to learn how to kind of let that go, and just go ahead and move on into your heart and begin this process. And as you do, the heart chakra is going to activate, and it's going to feel like a little sun. As that vortex activates, it's going to start spinning, and it's going to be about fist size. And you'll start noticing all types of strange things happening, like your breath starts almost tasting metallic. And that's because you're activating the energy field around your body, your light body. It's the energy torrid, and it's magnetic. And so your breath with the moisture in there, as it passes into this magnetic field, is going to have a taste, and it's going to be very different than anything you've ever been used to before. And I used to call it tasting the light. And it's pretty cool, and it's just the beginning. It's going to increase the more you increase your frequency and the more you expand your light body. After you activate that first heart chakra, all the rest of your chakras are going to follow suit, and you're going to begin a heavy detox. And with that, it's not going to be comfortable if you've been heavily involved in chemicals like I have, from my work, from, doing mechanics work or steel work or machinists or, gold mining, jewelry making, or all the things I did, blah, blah, blah. I always was bathed in chemicals. And all those chemicals have gotten into my cellular level. And as you raise your frequency, it's going to have to detox. And it's going to not be so comfortable as it's going through your body. It could start loading into your heart a little bit and causing your heart to flutter, and your heart's going to flutter anyway as you start activating it. As you activate your heart chakra, it is going to have palpitations, and it's going to feel like something's wrong, but it's really not wrong. And you go to the doctor, and the doctor's going to look at you, and he can't find anything wrong. And the best thing to do is don't take any drugs for it. Just learn to deal with it. As you start activating all the original 7 chakras, then your physical body at the cellular and atomic level, because you're changing yourself at the atomic level, is really going to start detoxing. And that's when you really truly become a conduit that is channeling the energies into Mother Earth and from Mother Earth and into society and those people that come within your field. And you'll start picking up their energies and helping to release their lower vibrations as you are sending higher vibrations into their fields. And a lot of times you have to consciously cleanse yourself. Envision your soul star above your head, and then pull that down into your crown chakra and clean that into the most beautiful color that the crown chakra is, and then into each other chakra, cleansing them, and then down into Mother Earth, and then pick that ball up and get rid of it. I've described that before in previous videos. But even then, at the cellular level, you're going to start detoxing, and a lot of times it can build up in your liver and kidneys, and you need to make sure that you're eating a good diet in the first place, drinking plenty of water, taking your electrolytes, and know that higher frequency and higher vibration, it's almost an anxiousness sometimes, or maybe an adrenaline type feeling, or feeling like you're on a little bit of speed or too much caffeine or coffee. That's very normal, and that's how you're going to feel. That's part of raising your frequency. And anyway, you're looking to do more and more of that. The more you do of that, the more you're going to detox. Well, a lot of people have started complaining about their pituitary gland and headaches that are happening in the front or right around the pineal gland. And that's because your third eye is starting to activate. Once you some people begin that process before they activate their heart chakra, but I highly recommend that you activate your heart chakra first before you activate your third eye, because when you start having visions, you really need that balance point, that weight point of the heart chakra to determine if your visions are actually truthful or not. Or, they're always going to be truthful, but the question is it going to be in this dimensional reality, or is it going to be in another, or you see an alternative timelines, or, there's a lot to understand about visions that you really have to weigh that out within your heart to find out if it's part of the reality that you're experiencing presently, or is it an alternate part of you, your soul, in a different existence that is experiencing that you're seeing that vision from. And so that can be quite complicated, and I'm not even going to try to get into that here. There's a lot of people out there that are just now starting to try to really relate our experiences of that in words where we can describe it for other people that are coming up behind us that might be experiencing the same things that we're experiencing. A little glass of water. The thing that I've really heard a lot about is the people having chest pains or their heart chakra activations, the palpitations. That's been one of the biggest things with a lot of the newbies, a lot of people that have been so ingrained into the system and into their egos, and they're just now starting to break free of that. And just know that there's nothing wrong there, and just ride it out. Keep on focusing on your heart. Keep on trying to move from your head to your heart. A lot of the healers are having problems in their right arm, their spiritual side. Just like your right brain is your spiritual side. The right arm, with the healers, we're channeling so much energies and so much negativity, and the negative energies a lot of times are building up within that right arm. And it'll pass. Just watch your diet, and just constantly try to get the energies to flow, and then pull it out of each individual finger, and just keep on working it and trying to pull it out. As far as your third eye awakening in your pineal gland and pituitary gland, what's going down is the little gland is expanding, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger across the front. And as it expands, it can be quite painful. And the same thing with your pineal gland, which is just about right in the center of your head, right here. That is, for many of us, it's kind of encrusted with all the fluorides and other chemicals that's built up around it, and it's kind of like calcium deposits that's building on there. And as it breaks loose, it has to detox and to realign with the pituitary gland, and that will start activating. And so anyway, it's just a process, and just know everything's fine. You don't want to do drugs. Don't do drugs to try to solve the problem, because anything that you put in is gonna have to come back out. And so anyway, I think I'll talk a little bit more about diet and stuff like that in the next video. And we're down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.